This episode of Local Film Talk was recorded in the Green Room at Natty Green's in downtown Raleigh. Perfect for business meetings or just joining friends to watch the big game, the Green Room is the ideal place to host your next event. To learn more, contact David Crack at 919-232-2477 or email david at nattygreens.com. I guess the last thing I wanted to talk about with the Super Femmes.
Yes.
We talked a lot about the Super Femmes, and you put a lot of work into the show, and then you got to figure out what to do with it, how you're going to get people to see it,
Right.
and hopefully make a little money off of it. So, what was your original distribution and capitalization model for the Super Femmes?
Well, the impetus behind not making it free was that we would release the episodes as what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of like high value content.
Okay.
So we figure there's an audience out there for comic books, superheroes, superheroine videos that have a little bit more of a bite as far as story, characters, development goes. So there's a market out there for this. So we wanted to target this market.
Okay.
Me and Tim did when we first conceived the Super Femmes. And so we decided to go the route of VOD, video on demand, through Vimeo
Okay.
to try and capture some of these market dollars.
What do you think of their system for?
I don't like their
videos?
system. I mean, it's incomplete. It's still in an infant state.
Okay.
Because if I want to watch a video and somebody says, okay, you've got to pay for it, and I'm prepared to pay for it, I want to click a button, put in my information, and click another button. That's about it.
Okay.
With Vimeo, you've got to, if somebody goes to our website, hey, I click on a button, I go to the Vimeo page, hey, there's another button, click to buy it. Then, oh, you're not a Vimeo member. You've got to join up and sign up.
Oh,
so you've got to sign up for the Vimeo.
You got to have a Vimeo account to
You
buy
got to
it?
have a Vimeo
Oh,
account,
man.
and then you've got to wait for the email that comes back to another email address that you signified in this screen to make
no.
to verify that your email address works. So you're going to go back to Vimeo,
Oh,
and
no,
you've got to
no,
log
no.
into Vimeo, then you've got to go back to the page, and then you've got to go through all the steps. And it was like that was way too much.
Oh man,
So
yeah.
what we've done at this point that we're doing this interview at that is that we pulled all the content off of Vimeo.
Did you have a lot of rents and buys?
We had some. I mean, we had probably about maybe 300 and rents
That's
and
not
buys
bad.
total. It's not too bad.
Like per episode or total?
total.
Total. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it didn't go quite as successful as we hoped.
Okay.
I think some of that was in our marketing. There was we just didn't have the budget to do some big marketing campaigns. Unfortunately.
Was it more word of mouth, networking, that kind of thing, Twitter?
Yeah, we tried to do some national banners on big comic book websites, but we didn't have the funds to keep them up long enough to really drive
Gotcha.
some traffic, right?
Okay.
So we've learned from that approach, and we're
Okay.
taking a new approach now. So the new approach is kind of like, instead of trying to go real broad, we're trying to focus in now on our audience. So what we're doing is we've pulled all the content off, and we're going to put all the episodes on a DVD. I'm re-editing them into a 90-minute film. It's probably going to be more like 60 minutes.
Okay.
Then there's going to be content, deleted scenes, behind the scenes, alternate takes, cast and crew bios, all that kind of stuff. And so we're going to focus in on a screening,
Okay.
right? So we're going to have a screening of the full episode, which will include the last episode, episode 9, that nobody's seen. It's brand new. And then
So
we're gonna-
episode 9 never even made it online.
Never even made it online. Right?
Okay.
So this is the season finale. And this will also set up future seasons if we can get there.
So people who bought all 8 episodes have been sitting there in suspense for a while now.
And they're going to be for a little bit longer, unfortunately. But anyway, they'll be able to get it and own it on the DVD.
Okay.
And it'll eventually be available for them to download as well. Right?
Okay.
So if a customer has downloaded all the episodes so far, they're going to be able to download episode 9 as well.
Okay.
So they're not going to be out a lot for. So our plan is to have this screening, and hopefully we raise enough money that we can really enact our marketing plan, which is to get us on Hulu, iTunes, Netflix, stuff like that. So we have a plan in place to do that.
Okay. That's interesting that I guess at least the first stage of your plan is to actually go kind of retro and put it on a disc. You know, you started out with digital distribution, and so you're going to go back to the disc.
Well, we need to raise some hard revenue like immediately. So the best way to do that is to have a product that you can physically hand to people and get a cash exchange.
Or like when you go to the NC Comic-Con, like you did last year, you guys were walking around with all your actors in uniform. You know, you actually have a product that you can advertise for them to get.
Yeah.
So in the future, the Super Femmes isn't going to be a series. It's going to be like a feature, more or less.
If we continue on, it'll be a series. It'll be a web series.
But this DVD is going to be all edited into one long.
Yeah,
episode.
the editing isn't going to be very difficult. I mean, all the episodes are set up as little chapters.
Knock the credits off
so
the end
you
of
just
each
basically
one.
put them together and you kind of restructure things just a little so that it works as on one viewing, right?
Okay.
Which it will. I mean,
well, that'll be cool. I look forward to seeing that. And so
yeah, you're
you
definitely
mentioned,
invited. You guys are all invited.
Yeah. I mean, do you have?
You gotta
any,
buy a DVD though.
So you got this screening planned. Do you have any concrete plans? Do you have a?
We don't have any concrete plans like venue, date, time, anything like that yet. It'll probably be first or second week in September.
Okay. So you mentioned possible season 2.
Yes.
I assume you have plenty of ideas.
We have plans for season 2
in
and
this
season
episode,
3.
In this episode 9 that no one's seen, does it end on a cliffhanger?
Oh, yes it does.
Okay.
It leads up to cliffhanger for season 2 and season 3 if we can get there.
Okay. And so a lot of this will depend on financial success and everything?
So, I mean, whether or not we can get to a second season is going to depend on a few factors. It's going to depend on whether or not we can, our marketing strategy now works. It's going to depend on how we're able to get the series out there. If we can't get the series in front of more eyeballs, then it's not working.
What's your target? I mean, if you figured out about how many views, about how much money you need to make to,
we have to make our budget.
Okay.
So
The plan that you had this time, you know, if this is successful, would you use the same model as at least as far as the deferred payments and that kind of thing? The way that you raised money for season 1 and everything, you do season 2 and 3 the same way?
The deferred contracts work pretty well for us. I mean, it worked pretty well for us. I think if we're successful, it'll work well for everyone else. If we're not successful, then it doesn't work well for anybody.
Right.
But I mean, that's better than free, right?
Yeah. And at the very least, like you said, they didn't have to pay money to be in your show.
The biggest fear that you have when you work on something that's for free or very low budget, you might get your meals paid for. The biggest fear that most people usually have is this project's going to blow up and I'm not going to get anything out of it.
Right. It's not even going to get seen.
So with our deferment contracts, that worry is alleviated. Because if it blows up, you're getting a percentage right off the bat. It's in contract, everybody knows about it. So that's the value of having a deferment contract, is that everybody has an understanding that if we do get popular, you're along for the ride with us.
Gotcha. Well, that sounds really interesting. I look forward to seeing that.
It does sound really interesting. Thanks for reiterating that, Bob.
And the screening, I I I shouldn't be able
Isn't
to find
it
a
exciting?
ticket because people should be lined up across the block to see
That's what I think they will be.
There's going to be billboards everywhere.
People are going to be like clawing their hairs out to get tickets.
I'm going to go ahead and get my tickets early just so I can scalp them.
Exactly. So it's going to be a big screening. We're excited about it. Check out www.thesuperfemmes.com or check our Facebook page, Facebook.com/The Super Femmes.
Which I assume you maintain on your own, right?
Yes.
You don't have a web
as well as the Twitter page, as well as all the other various YouTube, Vimeo pages that are out there.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. We'll talk to you at your next project,
Absolutely,
man. Have a good one.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks.